Alright, as mentioned, since we don't really have much of a choice, well, meanwhile in Megalopolis, the group is still managed to follow Clank.
Yes, may I help you?
Oh, but she's so shy.
Gotta love the Hans Zimmer took over there, like for that musical cue.
I mean, he did compose for some games, I wouldn't be too surprised. Really.
So yes,
Maybe
it
that
would
was
appear that
maybe that was a Neil's bit. I don't know.
Yes,
it would
Jova.
appear that Clank is in trouble.
Also, returning from the first game are, of course, the ship sections. They're a bit better here, but, you know, they're still functional at the end of the day. Basically, what happens is that occasionally, not all the time, but you arriving in a different planet will mean that you have to do first one of these missions where to destroy maybe either the asteroids, the tugs for less ships, or something else entirely, you know. The good news is that at least for this mission, destroying some of the asteroid also nets you some raritanium. You forgot it was a key item in the first game, but starting with this it starts to become basically a sort of an extra resource that will help in some capacity. You'll be able to see in a later part. That being said, the enemy ships are still quite fast even with the lockout, so thankfully there is also a radar on your top, sorry, your bottom right corner, so you should be able to orient yourself enough.
Your ship also has like enough durability that as long as you know what you're doing, you should be able to last well enough in these.
Later on, obviously, the challenges will become more hard, but as a result, you will be able to power up your ship in some capacity. Lovely.
Wave 2.
You also have some special weapons like missiles, but if I recall correctly, you use no, the triangle button is used to actually properly select them. I forgot which button specifically you have to use, but basically they are more of an insta-kill towards their target. The thing is that your standard laser so far, you know, is worth enough, so, you know, just use them at your discretion.
And as Tio is showing, you have, of course, the classic strafe or barrel roll maneuvers.
The barrel that is not a barrel roll, yes.
It's a little handy thing for if you need to try and do a quick dodge while also keeping lock on.
The blue ships are slightly more resistant than the regular one, but as you can see, not by much. Also, while you're in critical range, your health starts flickering like this. I don't know if it's a problem of the port or if it was also in the original.
Forget if it was intentional to do that.
That one's pretty
danger
common in
blinking.
games.
I'll check right now, because I'm pretty sure it isn't, from what I remember, but I'll check.
I mean, it's pretty common in games when you're on low health.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
I
not be
prefer that.
surprised.
I mean, I prefer that over beep 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 beep.
Fighters defeated.
There we
Sure,
go.
that's
Let's
fine.
get to the Maktar Nebula. Go on.
Yeah, no, this may have a point. Now that he mentions that, maybe he's the one who's right.
I would not be surprised if it was like that in the original.
Yeah. But just in case, just to make sure we get this out of the way, just to get the right answer, I'll check right now.
Alright, as mentioned, the Maktar Nebula is hosting that gladiator show, but before actually going there, if I recall correctly, there's also a station of the tugs for less that I can actually, you know, disable in the meantime.
While doing a little bit of property damage.
Yes, again, to be fair, yeah, that's something that I didn't mention. Compared to the first game, there's a lot more destructibility. You know, I gave an example doing at the Megacorp, you know, facility on Uzla, but in pretty much every planet there are plenty of resources that you can destroy, which is where the upgrade of you being able to destroy everything with a single air attack which you can acquire later in the game, will become very useful, you know.
I love how it's like a Lego game where destroying the very scenery nets you cash.
In the meantime, I can't see the video that I'm seeing. The guy doesn't even get hurt during this particular run. So let's just give the remaster the benefit of the doubt and said it was like that originally.
I guess in a weird sense, it makes sense that there would be bolts in these because hey, bolts are what's used to put stuff together. Which honestly makes me wonder if the context of why bolts are the currency is like. People are constantly using bolts for either money or just to put stuff together, since the name of the game does seem to be Invention, sort of like a supercharged industrial era.
Possible. I'm pretty sure, again, as far as I know, the franchise hasn't really, dwell too much into the implications of that.
Of course, yeah.
There you go. So we're getting into the section with the tractor beam. Now it starts getting used into... now it starts being used in creative ways. These particular, helper robots are impervious to your weapons, but they possess one of the tractor beam's, battle logo. So you need to just place them onto the pads to open the doors. Simple. Same also goes for these specific bombs that you need to just drag down a hallway and release in a certain place.
The problem is when you're getting swarmed by enemies.
Well, those do not respawn, so, it's not too big of a deal. Worst case, it just, creates a new one, and, you do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just give me a second, please.
So it's, in a way... kind of a bit of an escort mission, not entirely. Like again, the helper robot is completely impervious.
Yeah, basically. There we go. When it comes to the difficulty, the tugs more or less are not particularly much different from the robots. Obviously, they specialize more in ranged weapons than the robots, CQC like muscles. Oh yeah, get this also. You need to use the tractor beam as a catapult.
Ah, the wonders of technology.
Again, someone really wanted to say, look guys, the PS2 has these physics going on.
Yeah. I guess if Insomniac were anything like Naughty Dog, I could...
Damn it. Sorry.
No, you're supposed to go away, dude. But yeah, if Insomniac were anything like Naughty Dog, I could totally see them being the type who want to really show what the console can do.
Well, not just that. Similar to other situations like with Nintendo, for example, it might be just a publisher mandate. Remember, one of the entire reasons Ape Escape was actually made was to, showcase what the DualShock was capable of, the different level sticks and everything. Sometimes some titles are just created to showcase gimmicks. Nintendo is particularly guilty of this.
Like Astro's Playroom.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we need to get the next bomb to open this glass door.
Okay, we need to get through glass. Is there a sinking mechanic in any of these games?
Well, to be fair, there are some sonic weapons, but I don't remember any particular game that took advantage of that.
You use someone's bad singing tone, but they don't.
Okay, not like that, Libs, but in a cracking time, one of your weapons is literally a frog that literally roars or burps on top of the enemies, and the sonic weapon in a resulting weapon is enough to constitute tangible damage. There's that.
Close enough. I mean, I've played the remake, but I don't remember all the weapons
You might well, the
I've only
remake.
played a bit of Rift Apart.
The remake doesn't really incorporate everything that future games brought.
No, but it had a few new things like the pixelator. That is a very imaginative kind of weapon that serves to test, what a console is capable of. So I appreciate that.
I guess I'm not too surprised. One thing the PS4 did like to show off was how many particles, pixels, or whatnot could be on the screen.
God damn it. Trajectory is
It's
always
just-
a crapshoot. There we go.
Yeah. Remember, these are the realistic physics, so you have to get it exactly right.
Uh-huh.
So get out your protractors, math whizzes. Although, no joke, it would actually be quite a flex if they legit mathematically calculated the exact angles that things need to be for stuff to launch that way.
It would require possibly too much time. There you go. Like, in time it took, I still managed to make it work. Alright, let's get to the jamming ray, as it's called. Which introduces a new mechanic that it's used sporadically in the franchise, not all the time, but sporadically. Predating Super Mario Galaxy from a couple of years, you have actions on small planetoids with their separate, gravity. It's best noted if you actually see the map view, which I will about to showcase a couple of times at least already in this.
Hit the exposed rods to destroy the towers.
In this case, you have to raise the towers and then
For a
destroy the
map,
coolant
press
rods.
Select or R3.
There you go. These planetoids work in a vertical way. Their surface is technically small, but they compensate that by having towers that you need usually to jump upon and find the right way, to that. This mechanic will be used, like I said, in a couple of other games. Not all of them, but, a couple at the very least.
Up and out.
And again, the best thing that can help you in this case are, visualizing what the landmarks look like. Since the towers that are still active, like emit a beam, you cannot really miss them too much. And if you actually are wondering where to go, by opening up the map of the entire planetoid, you can easily orient yourself, into a better position.
Damn.
Also, I don't know if it's intentional, but the transponders at a certain angle look like green lightsabers.
I don't know.
Yeah, in fact, it looks a bit like Luke's iconic green lightsaber with the handle and everything. I don't know if that's intentional or not,
No,
though.
don't really think so. They would have been a bit more blatant if they wanted to do so. Like
True,
in,
they probably would have used the sound effect.
Yeah, like in the Swan Princess Christmas special.
I thought you were gonna say Ghost Dad, which randomly
I
uses
tried
that
to
sound
genuinely
effect.
suppress the fact that I ever watched Ghost Dad, Jova. Thank you.
I do not blame you. But yeah, no, that was a thing in Swan Princess as well. God lord.
The pinnacle of, human entertainment, according to Yuri Lowenthal. Bless him. But,
Yes.
swing and a miss.
But for the record, I mean, the Swan Princess movies recently apparently ended because we have yet to see any news of it. And Yuri Lowenthal remained as Derek till the end. I have no idea why the hell would he, but he did.
Loyalty to the role for consistency's sake? I don't know.
I guess.
He did also apparently write some of those movies.
Laura at one point after movie 7 said, "No, fuck it, I'm out of here."
Again, sometimes some voice actors, prioritize consistency and, being loyal to whatever fan base that might be, no matter how illogical it may be.
remind me, did Yuri Lundfeld have any recurring series that, and I don't just mean like a series that maybe released an installment every few years like Spider-Man, but I mean, did he have like anything super recurring at the time?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, then maybe that's why he stuck with Swan Princess. Again,
I mean, it's not like he was an out-of-work job, huh? Like, he had pretty much at least 3 or 4 roles, per year to do for, whatever other projects.
True, but I'm wondering if, like, Swan Princess was something of, I don't want to say life raft, because I think he would have been fine even without that, but I'm guessing it was something that was like a good safety net, like something he could be sure to come back to every now and then. That's just me speculating, who knows? Maybe he legit did enjoy being Prince Derek in the ever-iconic Swan Princess movie series.
There you go, see, there's only one that is meets light, so that's where I have to go.
Definitely getting some Mario Galaxy vibes from this, and I know this came before.
I don't know actually who pioneered properly this kind of aesthetic or mechanic. I don't think it was this game either. Probably something else entirely.
A lot of people trail it back to Yoshi's Island with the one boss fight that's basically taking place on a planet against the big black bird.
Ah, okay.
Which, okay, I guess to be fair, after that, the next person to try that would be Sonic, actually. With, the Sonic Saturn game that would, sadly not see the light of day.
Sonic Extreme.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It would properly see it finally come into fruition with Sonic Adventure 2. During Mad Space.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone's favorite level.
If Sonic Extreme came out and it was literally Mad Space the video game, I reckon Sonic 06 would get dethroned in a lot of people's worst of Sonic games lists.
Alright, we're done.
Good work, my boy. You are proving to be invaluable in this underwear. Anywho, it appears the thief is now.
What am I, some kind of hero for hire?
But I
yes, you are.
Found a way for you to insinuate their operation.
Say that again.
Is it dangerous?
No. Actually, yes, it is.
Good.
Take a
Well,
look
at least
this.
he's honest.
The wind in your hair, the sun on your skin, the bugs in your teeth. We are the Desert Riders.
Before I became a desert rider, I didn't fit in anywheres. I had low self-esteem, bad breath, and a thing for ladies' undergarments. But these guys understand me. They really do.
Yeah, I'm just here for the bake sales. Oh yeah, I also make these cute gloves for all the guys.
So you've got what it takes. Use this temporary membership to enter the most grueling hoverbike race in the galaxy. Win it and become one of us. Desert Riders.
So instead of hoverboarding, now it's hoverbiking.
Desert Riders all use Megacorp bikes, so I just had to pull a few strings. Contract me as soon as you get more indignation.
Wait, what about the terms and conditions that's read really fast by the narrator?
It's fine. Don't worry, Dweebs. Nobody reads the fine prints anyway.
Dweebs, have faith in the system. Nobody's died in like a year.
A year?
Make it a week.
What was the death? What's been the total death toll?
Just 365.
1,000 it says here. 365,000.
Well, you see, space is a very dangerous concept we're working with, but we finally have ironed out the kinks.
Totally.
It says here a quarter of those deaths were of people accidentally pressing the eject button in space instead of the boost button because the enemies could so easily sneak into their ships and sabotage their controls.
Admittedly, we did not pick out the most best candidates. Some of them were colorblind, sadly. They couldn't differentiate.
Also,
had their heads brutally blown.
in case you're wondering, it's showcased also before. Yes, you can also play with the slot machines here. Don't let the ESRB know, because otherwise it will slap an M rating on this game.
No, not Shadow Fever.
Why did he put that even
Also,
on his?
There you go. When you fully upgrade a weapon, they actually mutate into something else. The gravity bomb in this case becomes the mini nuke, as it's called.
You see, Eggman's high IQ has been called into question numerous times.
Well, actually,
that has to be one of the worst moments of it.
No, okay. While that game could have done a better job of conveying it. Okay, to be fair, Dwibs, you joke. However, that actually is in Eggman's character, that he wants to defeat Sonic, but he wants to defeat Sonic on a fair fight because he considers Sonic an adversary, like a formidable adversary, as he phrases it in Adventure 2. So
pretty much
in a confrontation against Sonic or even Shadow, Eggman does want to defeat him in a way that actually makes him feel like he's earned it, rather than necessarily cheating.
That's also actually part of why he created Omega, literally to be a robot capable of matching with the likes of Sonic or Shadow.
The villain wants to beat the hero in a fair fight. He's a shit villain.
Also,
not necessarily. Plenty of villains have that. Actually, plenty of them.
Yes, Tio.
Also,
they're not very villainous.
Then why would the whole thing about kidnapping Amy and then dropping Sonic into space then?
Well, okay.
He forgets sometimes, don't you see?
No. To be fair, in that case, in his eyes, that is him outsmarting Sonic. He wants to defeat Sonic in a level ground here, which means either defeating him in power or in cunning, essentially. He sees that as, basically a tango with Sonic, essentially. And he can boast that he did actually manage to fulfill that with his IQ. Keep in mind, he managed to do that whole maneuver without Rouge or Shadow's help. Which, given that he was technically against 3 of the heroes at that time, is a feat that they'll never be able to take from him, essentially.
That's why... Hold on.
Well, no, it's just an upgrade again on the Shadowlands.
That's why when you launch a Sonic into space, he specifically says, "Farewell, Sonic, my formidable adversary." He considers him an adversary, not just a nuisance necessarily.
It's definitely... it definitely became that case by Adventure 2, where Eggman definitely wants Sonic dead, but he wants him dead the right way. Like, he even... Okay, while he is partly BSing, in Unleashed, he even does make it clear that he wants something of a challenge when beating Sonic 2.
You can also see this in IDW, in the Metal Virus Saga, for example. Where he makes it a point to leave Sonic alive so he can have a 1-to-1 match with him.
He even does lecture Starline that if he wanted to, he could carpet bomb Sonic anytime. But at that point,
that will not be satisfying to him. That's the thing. He wants to see Sonic's face when he sees that he's been outmatched, because that's satisfying when he wants.
Fittingly enough, he shares that quality with another character Jim Carrey plays, the Riddler. It's one thing to kill the hero, but it's another thing to show them that you're just better than them, which, admittedly, Eggman knows Sonic does have a bit of that ego thing, the ultimate defeat is just absolutely seeing Sonic defeated in every shape or form.
Here's another example of a villain who's a bit more complex than just killing that guy. Nolan's Batman specifically asks, so why do you want to kill me? And he specifically says, no, I don't want to kill you. Why would I do without you? Going back to ripping off mob dealers? No. So, like, to him, his struggle with Batman is what gives his life meaning. It's what gives him fun. He doesn't want Batman to die, because without that, he's left with no entertainment, basically.
I mean, you'll probably find entertainment somewhere.
Another example.
You can make entertainment out of anything.
The thing is, you're expecting the Joker to act like a sane human being. Go on, Jova.
Oh wait, hold on. We're in the battle.
We're
arena.
just need to start the
Is everyone
arena,
ready
but
for tonight's Mega Battle? Introducing from nowhere in particular, this guy.
Wait, I haven't prepared.
All of our gladiators.
gotta improvise.
I guess it just goes to show that even though Ratchet and Clank became celebrities, they're not known everywhere.
Well, this is a complete new galaxy, so there's that. The entire point is that this new galaxy has not really heard what happened in Solana yet, so it's also an excuse to have a fresh start for everyone.
So I guess in terms of travel, you can consider like each galaxy as like its own continent, and like going to different galaxies the equivalent of transcontinental travel.
That is true, but that also being said, you know, we will have you know, the characters returning to previous places in different games, so there's that too. Go on.
Another example is, depending on the version, Lex Luthor. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, Lex Luthor tends to want to kill Superman, but there are plenty of times he would be content with working with Superman, or rather having Superman work for him. Lex is definitely all about that ego. He is jealous of Superman, a guy with godly powers, not lording them over as a god, essentially. One of my favorite bouts are also the cases where he does figure out that Superman is Clark Kent, but just can't accept that Superman would disguise himself as a lowly reporter.
Of the Gladiator Games, this guy.
I have a name.
And we get these games version of a hack.
Championship series. Come back and fight again for big cash
So,
prizes.
Tio, are you the kind of player who pretty much maxes out your weapons as soon as you can?
Yes, basically. Anyway, there you go, the electrolyzer. But you can also get other challenges in the arena to get different bolts, rewards, and also to challenge the bosses, but those will be shown at a later time. The hacking minigame in this game is the nightmare for everyone who has ADHD, because you need to keep track of the small spheres of light and move accordingly the connectors so they actually line particularly. It's the equivalent of a rhythm game, except you have to keep a tab of the entire screen all the time.
Weird, I was actually thinking it's kind of like the video game equivalent of Sudoku, but that's an apt comparison too.
Anyway, there you go.
Hey, this would make a nice souvenir for Clank.
Something else.
Yeah!
Hey! Oh.
You have no idea what you're involved in. Return to your old galaxy immediately, or this will happen to you. Or this will happen to you.
I'm starting to believe these people is a bit incompetent.
You think?
Yes.
You know...
Sorry about that. The queue failed.
You know, when will villains learn that sometimes threatening the hero's loved ones won't make them back off, but actually track them down?
They'll learn when, who am I kidding? They're never gonna learn.
Trust me also, I'm making the Akimi game looking easy, but you're just not seeing a lot of field attempts, so basically.
I was about to say it's a case where we had 98 hits, and that was the best of them.
The arena later for more battles.
There you go. Anyway, that's basically where we're going next, in the next part. But yeah, basically now we're properly going to rescue Clank. After all, the game is literally named after both characters. We don't want to make the other way too much. So.
Can you imagine if?
So go. You go first, Joe. I want to find some out anyway.
Imagine it kills off Clank, and then it goes. It's Ratchet and Clank, but Clank can only accompany you in spirit.
Okay, not to the point of killing him, but unfortunately, Gladiator Deadlocked is kinda like that, where he forces you to play just as Ratchet all the time, to the point where the game itself is just called Ratchet and omits the Clank.
For Secret Agent Clank.
Mm-hmm.
How they remove Ratchet because there's a game about Clank. Literally what Japan did for their name, they just reversed it. They called it Clank and Ratchet Secret Mission Ignition.
Sure, why not?
Like, do Do you even play as Ratchet in
Yes,
that game?
yes, you'll be able to see when we get there. For the time being, tuning for the next part where we actually go to Megapolis and save Property Clank. See ya.
See you then.
Yeah.